there is existence beyond mortal experience. It's how we're all connected. I've learned that a long time ago. My YouTube is called The Kiosk because I have a tulpa. If you don't know what that is, it's spelled Tulpa. Go to that.info. Can get most of your questions answered. In my case, it chose the name. And so that's what I name a lot of my stuff. On this YouTube, I am probably more open and myself than I am on Facebook, or I don't really get on a lot of other social media, but I usually try and keep those within a certain set of bounds, knowing that, people get involved in whatever. But YouTube, just the format and the things that I've been trying to convey, there's so much more of myself in this. So anyways, yeah, I am just injecting my own delusions into everybody else's as the LARP continues. And while I do have that, I also have the self-awareness to realize that. And it is on the rest to encounter and interact with me to discern between the actual skills and knowledge that I possess and what is a delusion being spoken or thought of by me. Because I am musical, quite well read, I'm well spoken, well written. When delusion of grandeur strikes me, I guess the question is not, am I thinking too highly of myself, but am I trying to bite off more than I can chew? And when it comes to the situations that are going on YouTube, I've already been shadow banned and gang stalked before. So this is me shrugging. I've attained things that others that attempted the same did not succeed at. That's not delusion, because I demonstrate it. And kind of, I don't know, makes you have to question whether it's the world that's deluded or the people that just don't conform to the world's delusion. So, no, I'm not actually trying to take over the cicadas or whatever. That's not... I want to be the president of the internet club. Okay, dude. I have a job, I have bills, I have responsibilities. Eventually I'll get to my hobbies. But the responsibilities are priority number one. And you think, oh, wow. If you knew me from my previous portions of my life, you would find that amazing. Totally spectacular. Because I was so irresponsible. So, I'm taking care of my own in the way that needs to be, and I'm not going to let other people's bullshit stop me. That's what I've, been working at. But, I've got stepkids. They've got a world they're going to inherit, and I'm not placing it on their shoulders to change it. I'm asking them to try and leave it a little better than how they found it. That's the best any of us can really do. But they still have to inherit this place, and it's so fucked up right now. The lessons we're teaching them, based on what we've experienced, are probably not going to be valid for them. And I've at least realized this and have had some discussions with them on that too, that a lot of the things my parents taught me were not valid. And so a lot of the things that we teach them may not be valid, or they'll have to find other ways to make it work. But I do know that lying to people, stealing from people, breeding false hope for the purposes of social control does not, in any way, shape, or form, make the world a better place. It doesn't fix things. It doesn't provide for any of my fears for my kids' well-being to be assuaged. And that makes you, who perpetrate those things, my enemy, personally, this guy. And I will see to it through every ability and piece of knowledge that I have, and every networked connection, every asset at my disposal. And without me directly having to lift a finger in your direction, will destroy you. That is what I do. That is how I've always done it, and that is what I will continue to do. And you might think this is a delusion of grandeur, but the fact is that I have documented many things that give me the confidence to know that this is not biting off more than I can chew. This might be a big bite that I'll have to keep chewing on for a while. But it's not like I'm going to drown in your blood or anything. That would be funny, but no. So anyways, the Kaishin realm is still mine. The highway likes me. God listens when I pray. And what I'm praying for is for the specific things that I've been observing to fall out of the world, so that my kids have a better place to get grown up into and a better place to leave their children with, if they decide to even have kids. I'm not going to lie. I think the Georgia Guidestones are correct. I don't believe that there is any New World Order anything, because if their purpose was control, they would want to have as many people to control as possible. And a smaller amount of people doesn't necessarily imply better control, because that's fewer people to pay taxes into their money system or whatever. So if that whole greed and world domination thing is actually trying to happen, via some people, then the Guidestones are antithetical to that as well. A small human population able to live in harmony with the planet would allow for sunny days, beautiful weather, and amazing growing conditions for all the food any of those people could ever want. And the only reason that anybody really doesn't like it is because there is a fear that they would not be selected for that. And 500 million people population, we're talking a couple hundred years from now getting to that. But living the lifestyle that any your typical Americans, most Europeans, a lot of Asians, there's a very first world situation going on, and what these people are living in is a world that is supported by slavery. It is supported by what's the word I'm looking for? Unsustainable production economy, over farming, and the earth is a finite set of resources. Even if it seems like a hell of a lot, it's finite, and some of it, like topsoil, is going to run out, and then we can't grow anything, and it'll take too long to make new topsoil, or natural disasters will occur that we don't have control over or cannot avert, and there will be massive extinction level events from time to time still. And if they don't, it's because the earth is cooling to the point that its magnetic field will die off, and we will be ionized, and our atmosphere will vanish, as will all the moisture. So, it's kind of one of those, we need to learn how to live off planet, we need to learn how to live on planet in harmony with the planet, and we have to understand that even then it's a good possibility that eventually that place will not be habitable over, who knows how long that will be. So, that's kind of where it is. And so when I see these people that are tricking people, whether it's tricking people into voting, or tricking people into giving them money, or just tricking them into believing some bullshit, none of it serves a positive or benevolent purpose to any goal that benefits all of mankind, whether it is to get us off-world or to eliminate population down to a more reasonable amount, and how to do so humanely. That's the thing. So there are deceivers in the world that will be destroyed. There are people that do not help, they harm. They will be destroyed. And after those people are gone, it might be possible to convince the rest of people to take it easy on the reproduction and the consumption, and start living a simpler life with things that do not require as much energy and work. I say work in the scientific sense of energy being made to perform actions, and chemistry going on, the likes of what produces the things we put in factories to make our food. I've worked at a bakery. I've used the giant powdered monohydro whatever phosphates, and this stuff all comes from somewhere, and if you try and figure out exactly how much of it goes through, it doesn't exactly match up. It's one of the things that kind of makes me wonder about a population hoax too sometimes, and that gets us into the topic of Hylics and Archontics and such, and we don't want to go down that road right now. So it's such a weird place we live in, but I can definitely tell that there are people trying to make it worse, and they're going to vanish. They're going to stop being a thing. Either because they've been locked up, because enough people have been fed up and run them out of town, or who knows? Who knows? But like I said, I won't have to lift a finger. All I have to do is guarantee that it happens through every piece of knowledge and ability and means that I have, starting with this.